What a world! What a world! Okay, go back to I can see what you're commenting over here. Jeff is saying whoop whoop choo 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 whoop whoop. He's excited. I need to get my ring light fixed so that I don't look like I don't know, this whole get up with the necklace and like a somebody wouldn't want to come across in the 60s or 70s. Ty's never gonna stream weird with the stream, and I was wondering where that music was coming from. Yes, I have started said stream. I gotta make sure that my light isn't. There we go. That's better. All right, guys, how's it going? Had a work thing today, so I'm late. Michael Dawson, how goes it, everyone? How goes it with you, Mr. Michael Dawson? I got my workbench, my late schedule. Got a mixed drink. Oh, Jay Santos. Yeah, I have like my little intro music that plays like 30 seconds of some cool shit that Pabs put together for me because he's such a sweetheart. Um, yeah, I was on the commuter train out of the city down home, back home, and it was like a hustle because I was like away from the subway in a different location in Brooklyn. So I was skating through traffic to get to the subway, and then taking the subway to get to the regular commuter train, then taking the commuter train to get home, and then driving home from the train station. This is a different one, right? I had the lighter blue one on last time. I have a whole bunch of them. They're comfortable, and I live on the beach. Hey. But let's see. So what have I done? Scale modeling wise. I haven't worked on any projects other than modeling adjacent stuff. So as they say on the Plastic Posse or Plastic Model Mojo, Dave does. I made some organizers, which some of you that have been paying attention to my Instagram may have saw that. Said it was the this distracted workbench. So there's the mic. Isn't that wonderful? I remade this, which was made out of foam core, and I remade it in. This is a birch ply. I did some like nice rounding on the edges. The reason, so there are gaps. I guess this got pointed out on Facebook, which is cool. The reason that the gaps are different is because the height is like the interior height without the two cross beams in it. Like the space you have to divide by 3 is like 5.25 inches. So I just went like and cut it and went the easy route. But so that's what that is. Anyways, I don't really fucking care. If anyone feels really bad about it, I can take this drawer and put it on the table saw and make it match the gaps on the other ones. Duels, what's up, man? How you doing, buddy? Still me, baby. I made not this model, but I made this one here. Didn't make this NASA coffee cup, but I did make this rum and coke. Here you can see the DeLorean. This is the main model that I've been working on right now. But I made this little guy right here, which is still my scribe drawer. So I've got all my scribes in there. This is one that was made out of foam core as well, but it didn't have the oil brusher display that's in there, and it didn't. I mean, it had like 2 drawers, and I nixed that because I didn't really use them, and they just kind of like hid things that I would need potentially. So tossed it, and then I made these 2 paint riser units in the center, which are kind of like clones of this one, and this one is actually one that I modified, so they're actually improved clones. Hey. But yeah, it helps me organize my paint a little bit better, so I can see what's going on. It gives me a whole extra level of shelving to put shit up there. So that's kind of what I've been doing. So I did last weekend. And this week was, let's see, the 4th of July. So how was everyone's 4th of July? Was that righteous or what? I had lots of fireworks. I got a bug bite on the top of my eyelid. So recovering from that. That's fucking awesome. Aiden's turning 21 on Saturday. I can absolutely give Aiden a shout out. What's up, Aiden? I remember when you was just a wee babe. I don't come back to Iowa very often, so I haven't seen you but maybe twice in my life. Jeff says, yes, at some point I'll be making hobby furniture on my laser. Oh yeah, absolutely. I got to start putting that stuff into drawing form, which is easy. I got time on the train. Today I looked at one of my cool books that Colleen gave me from Mr. Werewolf. If you guys are familiar, I am just the shiniest boy right now. Shower at a barbecue. Yeah, so Mr. Werewolf, if you guys aren't familiar, he's a really cool Polish fantasy artist who does some really crazy shit. Mm-hmm. Still have giant hands. But oh, dude. So one thing that happened this week, fantastic thing. Oh wait, here before I get going into the story, Michael Dawson says got moved into a new place. That's right. I remember Michael's moved in. For the most part, but found out at the last part. Oh yeah, his master grade duel. Oh, you found not only lost a part of the duel, yeah, but the tools he used for all the older what? Gotta go to the hobby shop. Hey, that's okay. It's so good to go to the hobby shop. It does suck that you lost some tools, but that also ties into my story. So, my story is that I was going home on Monday from work. I went into work, and then I was coming back, and I had to stay late because there was something that came up, and I had to solve the problem. And what up, Julio? I just saw you a couple hours ago, and and I was going to go home. I got to Penn Station, and then I noticed that like there was a bunch of canceled trains, and that's never really a very good sign. So I kind of like played around and looked at what was going on. I saw that there was a train supposed to be coming up. I was like, we're going to wait and see if this train boards. When that train was going to go to board, it went to cancel. Amtrak fried something and shut down both corridors. So I was stuck in the city in Manhattan instead of where I live, which is down in New Jersey on the shore. And they were like, figure it out. Sorry, which was fucking righteous. So I had the bright idea to jump on a different train, use my ticket that I have. I buy a monthly ticket. Use my ticket to get over to Secaucus and get an Uber home. And that was only, $87 from Secaucus to where my car was. So in the process, though, I lost my skateboard, my longboard from Earthling, my super glider that I got in 2007. I've ridden it for 15 years. It probably has somewhere between like 30 and 35,000 miles that I've put on it skating in the city. I used to skate like 12 miles a day. So, at least. So that's why there's so many miles on it. So I just, chalk it up to the game. Sometimes you'll lose stuff, but I decided that I was going to piece one together, and you can't buy one. I researched it online. It's the company I used to skate for, and they stopped making those boards a long fucking time ago. You can get a brand new carbon fiber version of like the remake of it. The deck alone is $280. So I decided to not fucking do that. Let's see. Could I have done the path to Hoboken? No. There was no trains. They weren't running anything to Woodbridge. So I would have to be able to get to Woodbridge to have been able to get down to me. And Woodbridge is like 15 minutes from my fucking house. So it just is what it is. Yeah, Secaucus was a pain to try and get through, dude. It was like up and then down and then up again and then down again and then down again to get out of there. I was like, what the fuck is this? Who designed this place? It's designed to keep you here. So this is the first piece of my remake. I bought a cheap complete longboard, and it is huge. And I'm glad it's huge because I'm going to cut it down. Oh my god, it feels like a fucking plank. It is. I'm used to so the Earthling boards they were like 7-ply thermoplastic, so they're very, very thin and very, very light. This board is not that. Can I get into this without spots? Oh, look at this guy. You can't look at him. Oh, there he is. Hi, Chris Babs.
Hello.
Welcome. Yo, I feel that. Feel that yawn.
What's going on?
I am unboxing off screen. Oh, this thing is ridiculous. It takes me back though. So, used to buy a lot of longboards back in the day. back before I got back into modeling, and all I did was scale modeling. All I do is buy scale models.
I feel that to a degree.
To a degree, yeah. Insert other hobby. Yeah. All right, let's see how bad this thing is. So I know it's got clear grip on it, so I know already that I'm gonna have to sand all of that off. I'm pretty sure that the graphic is trash as well, so I'm gonna sand all of that off. And figured out I've been working on some art, so that's why I was looking at the cool Mr. Werewolf today, getting some ideas.
Just to interrupt you real quick, Brian. Michael Dawson says that isn't bad because he's wearing the wrong color hat. And there's a reason why I'm wearing this hat.
Uh-oh.
Because we were thinking about bringing this guy back.
Oh yeah.
So I've been repping the
Nice.
critical build stuff because
Very nice.
I might be coming back pretty soon.
Hell yeah. Oh my god, this thing's a boat.
Also, I see Julio in here, but he's not in here.
No, he was he was where I was actually as well.
You guys were at a barbecue, right? Some work barbecue?
Yeah. Work related barbecue.
Cool.
Okay.
So, speaking of builds, you showed your now or never build. I'll show mine. I've been fumbling. Oh, look at that. That's pretty.
Not really have a graphic, it just has that. But it's like it's got the world's heaviest trucks on it. The clunkiest crud wheels. They're gigantic. They're rip-off Randall's 180s. Actually they look a little bit bigger. But I have independent stage 11s on the way because I know how to set up a board.
Julio, this is the perfect time for you to jump in, man. You took some hallucinogenics.
Oh yeah,
you jump on.
Sort of. It was mad hunting. It wasn't like that stuff that the psychoactive honey that they make in Brazil. Yeah.
I have no idea. You guys are speaking Swahili to me.
That's all right. You don't need to worry about it. It's nothing to really consider. Yeah. Off-road board, not exactly, Julio. I'm going to change this shit. Yes, Tris.
Doku is asking when you were inviting her over for a barbecue.
Oh, well, we grilled on it before.
You were just down the road, Doku. What happened?
Actually, it's quite a ways. She's like up in North Jersey, a little bit more so.
That's down the road.
Yeah,
I didn't say how far down the road. I said it was down the road.
It's easier for them to get to Wayne than it is for me, I think. That's a great question. I'm here every weekend by myself, so Colleen works. So.
Jason Santos Pabs Jr. is doing very well. He now has complete run of the house. He's walking around. He's running around actually. He's now exploring, climbing things, sliding down things.
Awesome. I gotta start infiltrating your life and putting myself in there as the mad scientist uncle. Yeah.
Hey man.
Telling you, first thing we're gonna do, suction cup gun. Yep. Gonna teach him how to make suction cups.
Listen, it's not me you have to convince, man. It's not me you have to convince.
I'm a charmer.
He does do that whenever he wants to, but he doesn't have much of a poker face when he does it.
It's sitting in the fridge.
Oh, in the fridge.
Oh, hey,
he doesn't have the upper body strength to open the door quite yet. A ball.
There we go. This is better.
I feel like I have not seen your face since last week. What happened?
You have not seen my face since last week.
I have not seen your face.
Did your haircut? Did you get a haircut, Paul? Yeah.
Nope.
Oh, okay.
It's just like falling back.
I see.
It's cooperating today.
Yeah, mine's crazy. It looked like a page boy, so I got to pull it back.
What's going on?
That works. Chilling like a villain. Just got this new longboard because I let my old one go bye. Yep.
Yeah.
We're gonna miss you.
Yeah, man.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
I like
That's right.
that.
Chris was talking about that. The
Yeah.
Now or Never. I should
The
have
Liberty Walk R35.
Liberty
there.
Walk R35. So this is, I believe, this is version 1 or 2. I can't remember which one. Because like there's like several iterations of it by Aoshima. This one is I don't know why I made it red. I saw somebody was making a purple car, and I was like, well, I'm not doing that now. So I decided to go with a warmer tone because it's not really something I go for all that often.
That's true.
I did order some carbon fiber water slide decals, but that's not going to arrive on time. I have no idea where those are right now. So I just went ahead and painted the hood a glossy black,
Perfect.
and then I still have to apply a gloss and then wet sand that and then polish that up. But it looks pretty shiny.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Get that. It already
Yeah,
is
for no
very
gloss,
shiny.
that's very shiny.
Yeah, I really wanted to make sure that so when I sanded this thing down, kind of sanded this thing down, like the lines were all over the place. Like the line on the this, you can't really see it, I guess. Like
You
the
mean
line
like
on
the
side,
body lines of the car?
yes,
Like
yeah.
what
So
would
those,
be the hood? Yeah.
yeah, those were all over the place. So I had to kind of go in there, use a little bit of kind of a super glue putty mixture, elevated those a little bit, removed, I put some masking tape underneath parts I didn't want that on, then removed that and then sanded that down, and then just made sure it was all nice and flush and sharp because everything else was just a muddled mess and it just didn't line up. So I had to do a little bit of extra work to it, but um yeah, like this is, I
Nice.
think, like the exterior is like the easiest part. Now I gotta get to the interior.
Should be.
And I don't.
Mine's wild because mine is the DeLorean.
It's a time
so-
machine.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
it's
think
a
it
lot of
depends
shit.
on the model too. Like I've seen some that have super detailed interiors, and then some that are, slightly less.
Yeah.
Depends
You,
on what you're doing.
to answer
Did,
Doug's question, it's not Tamiya, it's an Aoshima model.
Aoshima.
Yeah, I have seen with cars. Like I've looked at quite a few videos of people doing like Formula One cars and stuff, and the I guess what we would call panel lines and gunpla are like really inconsistent, and that seems to be pretty normal for just about every manufacturer. Like I've seen a couple of Tamiya ones where people had to rescribe them, and I guess especially for like what would be considered a door, because if you're looking at that on like a real scale, like the door gaps pretty visible,
Sizable.
right? Yeah,
Right. Yeah.
and on the model it just tends to like look really shallow.
Oh, it's super
I
shallow.
mean,
Yeah.
it was definitely one of the first couple. Like, I watched like a million videos. I was like, how
Yeah.
am I
Oh,
going
yeah.
to build this
Yo,
thing? What are
some
the
of
steps?
those are so relaxing to watch. People put cars together.
I can't remember his name, but there was this guy who made the Liberty Walk Lamborghini, right? I think it was a Huracan, and it's a Japanese builder, and he put this thing together in like the most aesthetically pleasing environment with no music, no
Yeah, it's like
heavy beats or anything
ASMR
like that.
only.
Yeah, he was
Oh.
building it, but he would that's where I got the idea of like, oh, sharpen up the body lines a little bit because it's a little muddy. He did the same thing and it was beautiful. He didn't really do anything out of the extraordinary, but the build came out amazing. It was a spectacular build. And if I can find it, I'll find it for you guys. But beautiful.
It seems like what I've seen a lot on that side of modeling is a really big attention to like quality. You know what I'm saying? Because I mean, you think about it, like a car is just a car. Like you can only add so many details before you're now greatly changing what the car is. It's about the quality of those details really more than the volume of them.
Agreed.
And
100%.
it's so cool to watch. Like the paint level has to be perfect, for it to really pass.
I found it, so I'm gonna post it in chat. Actually, I'm not gonna do it with a timestamp because for some reason they put a timestamp on it. But I implore you guys to watch it, like especially when you're just like whatever. If you're doing something else and you have this, like, just have this in the background. Just glance at it every now and then, see what this person is doing, and I can guarantee you, even though I'm not much of a car model builder, this is
Automotive.
yes, an automotive builder. This would technically be my second if we wanted to include the Cyber Formula vehicle.
Mhm.
I'm not much of I'm not that type of modeler, but watching this person do what he does gave me ideas for Gunpla stuff too. So
Sweet.
yeah, definitely check it out.
All
He's
crosses over.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the
he's
surface prep,
amazing.
man, is just so like on a different level from what we typically see with Gunpla. I'm sure some people are like that, but it's obviously because most of the time a car is gloss, and you're gonna see any change in reflection on that. So the amount of time they spend perfecting the plastic, you know, raw, and then the amount of time they spend polishing and everything is just wild.
Yeah.
Especially like you
Really
think
well
about
done.
it, if you've ever watched someone paint like a real car, like a really
Yes.
high
Yes.
quality paint job, that goes into, right? They cut and buff the car and wet sand it.
Yeah.
And to do that on like the same thing on a small scale is pretty wild. It's cool.
Did it with the hoverbug. It's good shit.
There is a guy on YouTube. What is this guy's name? Vicrez? No, not Vicrez. No, it's somebody else. I'll find it if I can. But Zach. I think his YouTube channel is Ultimate Rebuilds or something like that. Yeah, Ultimate Rebuilds. He is not like a shop. He's like a one-man operation who does paint jobs out of his garage,
Mhm.
and they are immaculate. Like really well done. Like they're also very creative. He takes like banged up cars or cars that were written off, and he tries his best to rebuild them. And the painting stuff is always like the most interesting part for me, just because he's
Yeah.
so like a perfectionist, like through and through, like trying to get this done because he doesn't
Right.
want all of the bubbles and the dust and all that stuff. So
Could you imagine doing that on that scale too? Like that must be wild. Like the amount of time
God.
and
I respect anybody who has to go through that like meticulousness on a daily basis, and for somebody else, it's that's a lot. That's a lot of mental fortitude that I don't think I have in me.
yeah, that seems like it would drive you crazy. Like
Oh yeah. Doku has a question. Does anyone ever do a car build of a crappy car with like dense rust on the hood and scotch tape to hold
Yes.
the side view mirrors? Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. Or like rally cars. Like I got a rally car, my Italeri Escort, and I'm gonna do it like in race. So it may have
Yep.
that. Maybe it'll be a little jacked up.
I
I know that
watched
if I
this
don't do
guy-
it stock, then maybe
I watched this guy do a Formula One build, and he scuffed the tires so they looked worn. He scuffed the whole underbody because if you've ever watched a Formula One race, the bottom of that car hits the ground like the
Yeah,
whole damn time. They're just constantly kicking out sparks. So he scuffed it to make it look like it had actually hit the ground. He did like particular things to the paint, just certain wear marks. It was really cool. But yeah, there's the same way with Gunpla, right? Some people build clean, some people build old rusty cut up whatever.
Build them dirty.
Yeah,
Dirty.
you see a little bit of everything. That's probably
There's actually a variant of this build I'm working on right now. There's a builder on YouTube that did a sort of a weathered version of it, kind of like oil streaks everywhere, and having the direction go, since the car's moving forward. It's pretty cool. I don't know what you're doing, Brian. You just are you perfecting your Steven Seagal slick back, or what's happening?
trying to pull my hair back, but I keep getting this bubble over here because my hair's all fucked up from being out all day. I'll just put a hat
That was
on.
a very popular look in the early 2010s. The ladies have like that weird kind of they have it in a ponytail, but then they also have like this weird thing that goes up, like a bouffant kind of
like a pompadour.
pompadour kind of thing. Yeah.
Yeah, that's not my jammy. Sorry.
No. Chris Collins says I cut a Goof 2.0. Steven Seagal came up. What? Oh, I cut a Goof 2.0 MG in half. It's for my Cerulean project build, and then Julio's came up, and then I started reading that instead. So they kind of mixed together. So.
Yeah, Steven Seagal. Yeah, second time Steven Seagal came in.
Steven Seagal, man.
No lies.
I'm telling you, what a piece of shit.
Yo. It's a big.
Robert Kurtz says Misato's Renault Alpine A310 taped together after that small yield nuke.
Nice. That's a good one. She's like the whole wheel is like shaking and shit, and the bumper is like taped on. Yeah, that's a good.
The Renault Alpine.
Alpine. Renault Alpine.
Damn French.
I mean, they're going through it right now.
Yeah, they're
A lot of those cars out there are currently very weathered. Very weathered
That is a way
to
to
pieces, some would say.
weathered my car to pieces.
Julio, I think you should jump on and reference Steven Seagal the third time.
Bring it on in, Julio.
Bring it on in, man.
Bring it on home, buddy. Oh, this is gonna be great, guys. So, what I'm gonna do is for the back of this shit, because that's where the stupid thing that's like 1,000 feet of tail here. Like if people have never ridden a skateboard in their life. I'm gonna put the back holes of new trucks I get into the front holes of the other ones. Yeah, the other way. You know what I'm saying. Anyways, the front holes into the back holes, and then I'm gonna re-drill holes to move the truck from here.
I always attempt to put things in back holes, and they always tell me to put it in the front holes instead.
You get it's the dolphin.
That's not how you make the baby.
Same on the front though. I'm gonna mount this front truck the same deal. Instead of it being here, I'm gonna mount it up here on the very front.
Michael Dawson says, I'd like to join a build off event thing, but I can't stay on one project long enough. If you listen to the latest, is it the latest episode of Build Sideways podcast? We were talking about creative stamina, where you are super motivated to build something, and then you kind of lose a little bit of fervor and start to build something else, and kind of talk about how you can either avoid that or embrace it. Yeah. I think it's a good listen. I mean, I'm biased though, but I've heard it's pretty good. Been told.
Yeah, people on the street say it.
I hope no one told you it's pretty good, and that was all they said.
Julio, I've never heard it be called.
Julio,
I've never heard it be called shit dick. I've always heard it be called dick ass shit dick. I don't know where you got that from.
Yeah, better check your sources, Holmes.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, man.
So you guys working on anything else? Go ahead.
Go
ahead.
How was
I was
everyone's
just asking
fourth?
you.
Oh, it's good. It rained
Anything exciting?
like a lot here on the
Yeah.
East Coast, but cleared up enough for us to grill and see fireworks. East Coast.
We took the little boy swimming for the second time.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, so the first time, my sister-in-law has a pool at her house, so we just go there to we went there to check it out a couple of weeks ago, and it was nice and warm, but there was like a really strong breeze because there was a thunderstorm rolling in, and it was a little too cold for him, even though he was enjoying it. By the end of it, he was like shivering and his lips were blue, so we were a little worried. But the fourth was super hot. It was like 92 out here, dry heat. Sun was like shining down, and yeah, we took him swimming. He loved it. He was kicking around, trying to put his head, like his face in the water, and then coming up and drinking a whole bunch of not drinkable water. And no, don't do that.
It's got chlorine
yeah.
in it. It's fine.
He had a good time. I've never really been one to enjoy July 4th because it's not really a holiday I personally celebrate because fuck you guys. But so yeah, this July 4th was quite special, and we had a good time, and he had a good time, and
Awesome.
Hopefully next year he gets to see some fireworks because he's usually in bed by 7, so he's not quite awake to enjoy those. So maybe next year.
Well, yeah, he's super tiny too, so you don't even have the opportunity yet to really get ham with it. But you can go and see cool shit if he's awake enough.
Yeah, we'll get there.
Just take him out to the show; he'll wake up.
Oh, I'm sure. How loud those things are?
God, no, you have to put little baby headphones on him.
Yeah, I might bring
feel
these.
the concussion in his body, and I'm sure they'll freak him out. But yeah, get him some fucking high end headphones.
I'll give him these. I mean, I'll bring these. These are noise canceling and quite.
Oh, cool.
I wouldn't call them high end, but
yeah, but are they small enough to fit on his little ass head?
So. I mean, he's got a big ass head. So.
Oh shit! Timestamp it. 30 minutes in, Chris trash talks his kid. Just got orange on a toothpick.
Michael says, I'm on episode 4. I tend to listen to it when I'm out on the road by myself. Okay. That's cool, man. Episode 4, like season 1?
I was just thinking the same thing. What is it, season
That's a
3
long time
now?
ago, man. Yeah, we're in season 3. Thanks to Brian.
Yeah.
Listen, I made season 2 short, okay? Instead of being 26 episodes long, it's only 13 episodes long.
13 minutes, man.
You know, sometimes it's just a one core anime.
Where did this word? I need to ask because I keep seeing this word core, right? Because I'm very excited for Jujutsu Kaisen, which comes out.
Yeah,
it came out today. So they were like, oh yeah, it's a 2-core special. Where did this word core come from? I haven't seen it until like very recently.
A core is 12 to 13 episodes.
But why?
So that's it's like a season of anime. So yeah, I don't know why it's pronounced that way, but a season of anime, there's 4 seasons in a year. So they're in 12-week spans. Or 13, depends. So like a traditional Gundam show, like the 50 episode ones, it's 4 cores.
Weird.
Yeah. And like now, you know, I guess 20, 30 years ago, it was like really common for shows to be 24 to 50 episodes, but now that's pretty rare for a season. You know, that's split up. Even like a 1 season, if it's a 2-core show, a lot of times they'll do like half and then take a break for a season and then come back. Like that's pretty common. But Attack on Titan's done that like 27 times.
Just as 4 cores, then you add hyper threading. Those are E-cores, man. 6 E-cores. Brian's like, what are you guys talking?
I'm lost, guys.
Yeah, I think the Witch of Mercury was like that. It was 2 cores, but they took a break.
It was 2 cores.
It wasn't like 24 straight episodes. It was like 12 break.
I think
12.
It's just this is the first time I've heard it be called that. I don't know if it's because I'm not really up to speed on anime lingo. But yeah, core is a new term.
Yeah, I'm trying to think I think what is that? Shield Hero was the first time I saw that, because that was the first season was 24 and then the second was 12, maybe. I don't remember, but either that or Tokyo Ghoul, maybe, because it was like 12, 10, and then 24. Like, I don't know. Like, I think more traditionally, whatever they did the first time around was like the same thing per season. So if it was 24 episodes season 1, it was 24 episodes season 2. But now shows have gotten a little weird with that, where they're like, 24 the first season, but only 12 the second, or they flop back around. I think Demon Slayer just now did that, right? This current season is only 12.
I think it just ended. Yeah, it just ended.
Yeah, but the first season was 24 episodes.
Right.
So Julio was saying 5 cores you get a Megazord, and I was going to say that 6 cores and you can't taste them anymore.
Chris Callan says if a show takes 2 cores to get good, it's a bad show no matter how good it gets. Fight me.
I mean, that's fair. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I don't know if I can do 24 episodes of bad show before I'm okay with it.
I feel like the American version of The Office kind of books that trend, though, right? Like the first season was terrible because it was trying very hard to follow the British version, and then season 2 they were like, "Fuck it, let's make our own."
I don't like any of it.
Oh, don't.
Very unpopular opinion.
Yeah, don't let my wife hear that. She loves that show.
It's okay.
She loves that show.
I'm not mad at it. It's okay.
There's heart to it.
Oh, Double Zeta. Yeah, that did take a while. I don't know if it was that long. I think it was like 1 core. I think it was like 10 or 12 episodes before it got good.
So who says that she agrees with you, but I don't know about what?
But The Office probably isn't good.
Yeah, The Office.
Oh,
to be fair, I don't like any sitcom. I've never watched a single one that I actually enjoy. Like,
I mean,
yeah,
watch, so. They're a fickle thing. They're not all good.
Yeah,
they're not always.
I still don't understand what's funny about Seinfeld or Friends or any of those shows. Like,
that's the thing.
I never really got the Friends thing.
I never understood Seinfeld. Like Julio will like sulk until his balls are blue about how Seinfeld is like the greatest.
He starts out that way though.
No, I don't like Seinfeld at all.
Yeah, and
he's actually like I find him to be quite annoying.
Even
they're all
So
they're supposed to
whiny.
be they're supposed to be bad. Like they're supposed to be bad people, right? Like from the first episode to the last episode, they were meant to be bad people, and then that's pretty much it. Like they're just bad people. There's no like progression of who they are. They're just assholes.
Yeah, they're just people in reacting to New York. The thing is, like,
Yeah.
if you haven't spent a lot of time in New York or any amount of time in the city, it can be funny in a way, but you don't get it on like the deeper spiritual level that it exists for a lot of people in. Like, because I watched Seinfeld growing up, and it was like, haha, some jokes were funny, this, that, and the other. Like some of the show was just kind of like, I just don't fucking get it. But after living here in the area, living in the city proper for like 16 years or whatever, and then living out here in Jersey, it makes more sense. It rings a little bit more true. So,
Julius has a question. What are your thoughts on conversion kits from Shop 2000? So GKM is what he's talking about, right?
oh yeah,
yeah. I mean, they're a recast company. They're very good at what they do. They recast very well. They usually recast things that are out of print. Stuff like their EXP, which is their in-house brand. Very good casting. And yeah, again, usually those things are out of print, so you don't have to worry about it. And also, very rare kits are also recasted on there. So if you guys don't know, I mean, 5-star stories is a very niche thing, but they recently came out with some new kits the last couple of months. But the way to get them is you have to put your name and proof that you are a Japanese resident. Then you have to be picked in the lottery to have the opportunity to buy the kit. So it's
Wow.
almost impossible from anybody outside of Japan to get one, let alone somebody in Japan. It's already pretty difficult. So they managed to get a couple and recasted those to make it more readily available. While I don't particularly condone that, it's typically the only way you'll be able to get your hands on it, unless you know someone in Japan or there's a middleman that'll help you procure one. But even then, it's very hard to get. So,
And people bitch about P Bandai.
yes, they do so generally good quality. Their older stuff is questionable, but their newer stuff is generally pretty good. And stuff is usually out of print is what they're selling. So there's no what's the word for it, ethics conflict there.
Jeff
Michael
says,
Dawson. Oh, go ahead. Yahoo James.
The funny thing was one of my clients for a commission, so you guys can see the twin tower behind me, right? We're also currently working on this guy, which is a original cast, right? The Hatetsuyon Ningyo, the Gatexion, which is a 172 scale, something like that. Okay. He was trying to get like one of the even rarer kits that was recently released, and he was going through Yahoo Japan auctions, who he also had a middleman for, but every middleman that he worked with in the past said no. Like every time he'd be like, "Hey, I want to get this kit. Here are some links to this being on sale on Yahoo Japan auctions." They kept saying no. They wouldn't give him a reason why. They wouldn't work with him on that particular kit until he found somebody who eventually did. But they are incredibly rare, and even going through Yahoo Japan, it's tough, man, and they're very expensive. Casting is great though. Like I've not seen like an official place do like clear resin before. It's pretty interesting. Yeah, so this is a Shin, I believe.
Weird.
Maybe.
I don't know. With these 5-star story kits, you never know.
No, you're not wrong. Yeah.
Michael Dawson, yeah, they part 1, 2, 3. That's the common. That's probably why you haven't heard of it, Chris. That like if you look at box sets on animes, that's what they call them: part 1, part 2, not first core, second core. Yeah, that's more for like I really only hear that when people talk about it airing live. Like as you're watching it live, they refer to it in cores, but like once it's done, it's part 1, part 2. We're revoking your NY card, Paul. Man, listen.
New York's not a real place anyway. Don't worry about it.
I would beat the shit out of Jerry Seinfeld if he was bitching all the time. I'd be like, listen, I'm going to take that soup and shove it up your ass, all right? Get away from me. And your short, fat friend, too.
Tim?
No, the
Oh,
other guy.
because we did the Costanza.
Because you did the Costanza face swap. Yeah,
Oh.
Yeah.
pretty funny. Pretty.
Oh, you guys know I have a lot of love for Tim.
I got love for Tim.
Yeah, I'm saying.
Tim's
That's why
good
we
shit.
reward him as such.
Yeah, I gotta give him a hard time. He's a good
Yeah,
guy.
of course. Nah, he's been working hard, man. He's been working hard. Getting in that elliptical. Making sure
Oh,
that
is that
booty
what's going on?
tight. I have no idea,
Right.
honestly.
Yeah, he's working on his only Tim's account.
I didn't say it.
I did. It's good.
Chris Count says secondhand, those are going to be priced as high as a giraffe vagina. They are very expensive.
Yeah.
I mean, outside of like the super rare ones, like this twin tower here, the original casts, man, they go for a pretty penny. I can't remember how much my client paid for this one, but like the newer ones are almost, if not equal, in terms of price.
Right.
Stupid.
Yeah, like my skateboard. The skateboard that I lost, it was $60 brand new for the deck, and now they're $280 brand new. Bit of a markup. It's not
Wham!
thousands of dollars for a giant piece of plastic, that you have to put together.
Yeah.
Wham. Julio.
Yeah,
what is
they're not super common. Like you don't really see 5-star stories kits, especially the resin ones, super
yeah.
often.
Those huge things? Yeah, that's no.
I mean, they're expensive even if you could get them at retail price. What would that kit cost you?
Which one?
At least a couple hundred. The one you were talking about earlier.
The Catexion or the other one? There's a Varantha blah blah blah. I can't remember.
I don't know what any of that means.
The Catexion,
Xanthium gun,
which is
Xanthium gun.
the one with the clear this stuff is this one's not as expensive. I believe this was like in the 400 range ish.
Oh, that's it.
Oh
That's not as bad, right? That's not as bad as like some other ones, but yeah, it's like stuff like this twin tower. I think he paid a couple of thousand.
Right.
Yeah, well, that was specific.
The shipping, yeah.
That was
specific.
probably a $1,000 kit though, if you could get it retail, right? I would guess.
Yeah, I want to say I saw something about them going for like 13 or something like that over there to residents or whatever.
Paul's like, that's just gibberish coming out of your mouth. Man. It is. It's some like half the time, man. Most of the stuff I say is gibberish, and somebody usually tries their best to translate what it is I'm saying.
5-star story stuff, like I have no context for what any of it means, or
you really
like I don't understand the lore at all.
It's terrible. I can't even front. And I'm sorry, Alex, if you watch this or if you're watching this at some point, it's not a, or even Armida, because Armida is also into 5-star stories. It's not a good. Like the lore is nonsensical. It doesn't make any sense. It's a very, if you think Gundam is a very politically heavy anime, 5-star stories, the manga and the anime are both, or the OVAs are just fucking. If you need someone to fall asleep to, that's a perfect OVA to watch or read.
Some of the designs I like, but it's just it's too hard to get into, I suppose. It's not regularly available.
Sailor Moon robots. Julio, no, it really isn't. So for example, the Twin Tower, right? So this thing is like the tallest mortar head in the series, or the old series anyway. And they launched this from some city, and it took like 60 chapters or something like that for it to finally arrive on the battlefield. And when they arrived on the battlefield, it broke apart. And then it took another like 10 to 15 episodes or chapters for it to come back together. And then when it came back together, it was like some weird dragon thing before it came back and turned into fucking whatever it is I'm building now. It's like, it's stupid. Sorry.
I will say though, like most mecha is pretty bad. Like
it can.
Stories are pretty
It can
bad.
be. I mean, I like Mazinger was a lot of fun to watch.
Okay, I tried to watch what was it recently? Muv-Love Alternative.
Oh,
what the fuck is going on here? Like, what is this about?
That's a very weird thing.
I'm so confused as to what this is.
The problem with mecha anime is it's either going to be heavily political and super serious, or they're going to mix it with another genre like magical girl or
Mhm.
something else, or like Darling in the Franxx, right? Like something like that. Like it's going to be
Oh, yeah.
very
Still haven't seen that.
you
It's
shouldn't.
so I like
not
Darling in
gonna.
the Franxx, but it's objectively probably pretty bad.
It's a
Yeah, but
yeah.
you like
It's
shonen.
very weird. It is weird.
There's what is it? Fafnir. What is it? What's the full
Oh,
title again?
Fafnir Unlimited.
Fafnir in the Azure or something like that.
No, I think there's 2 of them. Yeah, that one was
There's
weird.
two, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that one's pretty strange, but like that's really more in line with like your typical mecha anime, right? It's like
Yeah.
super.
That was
political
very much
serious.
like Seed, like Gundam
Yeah.
Seed.
It's the same.
Quite a
It's the
bit
same
more.
art style. Oh my
Fafnir
god,
Seed.
fast seed. So speaking
Pull
of
my
like
ass. Drive the robot, Shinji.
speaking of like expensive kits, what's the most expensive thing like back there for you guys?
Hmm.
Well, I mean, for
In the-
Paul, it's back there. For you, Brian, it could be in the storage or it could be in front of you.
Oh yeah, it'd have to be something I have in storage.
Probably-
Well, no, I
one of them
mean
Mechanicore kits is probably.
probably my other Briegel. That was 400 something shipped.
I don't think I have anything. Maybe
got
the
I mean, I've got big ass kids. They just weren't that expensive.
maybe the Teef Stormer was like somewhere in the
Super
300s.
expensive.
But
Well,
that's
you
the
know-
1 to 120 one, not the 1 to 100 one. That one
Got
was
you.
a little more expensive. The
PG Falcon's like 300, right, Chris? Chris Callan says PG Falcon.
oh yeah, I have the PG Falcon.
Yeah, the 300
That
range.
one was pretty expensive. The I have the Zerstore, and that one was
Ooh,
pretty expensive because of how long after release I got it. But
Was that
it was
that's
still
that
wasn't-
was like what was that MSRP of like 450, 350, something like that, right?
I think
Originally,
no, it wasn't that expensive originally. I think it was like in the hundreds, like 150, 170 or something. Because that was one of the really
the
early.
Zerstore is the fucking
Not the casino.
the C, yeah, right.
Yeah.
was
But they're now they just that's the thing with like Mechanicore kits, like it's one run. So if you don't get on it right then,
Yeah, I know.
you're probably not going to get a chance to buy it, or you're gonna have to spend a lot more money.
Like my
But,
perfect Xeon will never come to fruition.
I didn't spend anything. I got it for a really good deal.
My most expensive kit I use as a footstool. Ugh. I use it as a footstool.
Oh wow. Is it the 1 to 6?
right
It's the 1 to
there.
60, right?
Yeah, this is the one. It's the 1 to 60 Sinanju, and every time I'm like, when I bought this chair, I'm like, oh yeah, it's a nice comfortable chair. But the previous chair I had has like that fold out thing that lets you
Uh-huh.
you
Yeah.
lean back and put your feet up. This
Yeah.
doesn't have that. So now I'm like, oh well, that's there. I just put my feet up and chill. It's the most expensive. What's the
RG Phoenix or the PG Phoenix tie?
What's
The
this?
RG
No, I'm not
Phoenix
sure
is
what's about.
expensive. Is there an RG Phoenix?
That's kind of what I want to talk about, right? So the more expensive the kit, the more apprehensive you are to build it. Like why?
Certainly to paint
I
it.
want to know why. Yeah, true.
I think because if if something bad is to happen, it's not like you can just go grab another one. Like, you fuck up an HG and you're $25 in the hole. Like, what's the big deal? Let's say something terrible is to happen, like the plastic cracks or something because of the paint you used, or I don't know. Not that it's all not completely fixable, but you're just, let's say $300 to $500 in.
When I was like buying expensive-ish resin kits, I was afraid that the experience wouldn't live up to the price. Like if it was like a crappy build, or I wasn't having fun with it, then I think that's where the buyer's remorse kind of really weighs in. And yeah, I think if the experience isn't worth the money I paid for it, I get really disappointed, and like my motivation to continue building it just kind of fades.
Sure.
I don't know, especially when you start getting into like the resin kits and then the third-party kits. I don't know if price always goes hand in hand with quality either. You know what I mean? Like the Kasi kit is probably, it's not, like, from everything I've ever read about it and seen, it's not a great kit. So I get what you're saying there. You spend $300 on something and it's not even that enjoyable of a process to build. You're like, I could have just built, another master grade, whatever, something you could just get off the shelf, and it would have been just as much fun.
These days with resin kits, I feel like that risk has been a lot lower. Like usually with you get what you pay for. Like if you get like a Fortune Meow, I don't know, high new or whatever, or new, you know exactly what you're getting. Like they've really upped their quality, but yeah, back maybe 5-6 years ago even, like you had no idea. Like you don't know what the casting's like, you don't know what the resin quality's like. You just you're given a brown box and hope to God everything's in there. Sometimes a white box if you're lucky.
Yay, I got the white box.
Julio says, if I'm spending 100, I want at least 20 runners. I mean, runner count doesn't necessarily mean.
Yeah, just because it's a lot of parts doesn't mean it's a good model.
Yeah.
Look at Dragon. Yeah. Like, Dragon tanks are like 247 parts for a 1 to 72nd scale tank. It's like.
I think the master grade Phoenix was a lot of parts, and I hate that kit. Like, it was horrible, terrible kit.
I remember like one of the first kits I built when I came back to building was the unicorn Verka, and that was it was not a fun experience. I mean, it had the parts count to justify the cost, but like putting it together. I remember putting the knees together on that thing, hating it, like that gimmick of it, kind of flipping out and stuff like that. And they hadn't perfected
the way those ankles, like,
it just wasn't fun to build, man. Like it was I wouldn't call it a grenade, but it just wasn't a pleasurable experience. And yeah.
Which Nanju Stein though, Julio? Because the original Verka had a lot less runner count than the second one that came out.
The narrative.
Yeah, the narrative has
because they gave you like doubles of everything. Like you could build like another half of a Verka.
Yeah.
Which was awesome. Like, don't get me wrong, especially if you're going to use those parts for something else. That kit was like chock gold of stuff you could use anywhere else. And it was a great kit, so it was like you couldn't really go wrong.
Yeah, it's just good all the way around.
Yeah. I mean, but some of the best things I've ever put together were not expensive at all. Like
I was about to ask, like, what was the next thing? Like the cheap kits that that far outweighed their price in gold in terms of building. While you think about it, recently for me, the aerial, the HG aerial, that was actually a lot of fun. I
want the RE100 one. I've heard good things too.
Oh, the full mechanics, yeah.
The Freedom 2.0 and the Justice were really good. I thought they were like just really, really good kits. They went together really nice. They had cool gimmicks, lots of details. They were like readily available everywhere.
Right.
Trying to think of something like especially cheap that I bought. The Jesta.
Oh, the Jesta.
Yeah, I think it was like $35 when I bought it. It might be a little more expensive now, but
it's more expensive
40 now, whatever. But
yeah, the Jesta.
Yeah, the GM Sniper. GM Sniper's on the same boat.
Yeah. Remember when that
custom
came out? I was going to say the GM Sniper 2 came out, and they were like $28 and everywhere. And it was like no one figured out how good they were until a year later, and then you couldn't get them anymore.
Then you couldn't get them anymore, exactly.
Yeah. If you look them up now, they're like 48, something like that, 55.
Or more. I think I paid like 50 something for the ones that I have. But yeah, I think I saw them at Barnes and Noble like 30% off of like $25 for a while. Just stacks of shits.
Lawrence says
2.0.
Yeah,
Lawrence says
classic.
I also had the thought of if this expensive kit isn't as enjoyable to build, will the other expensive kits I have will not be enjoyable as well?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. If you start to correlate, like just because it's expensive, it doesn't mean it's good. Then that kind of mentality of like, oh, this is an expensive kit means it's gonna be shit. I mean,
especially if there's something about, like, let's just say, for instance, I put together a Mechanicore kit and it's not great, and I have 3 more Mechanicore kits that I've also spent a lot of money on. You know, you could see that. I wouldn't know.
Dave B says, "What are your thoughts on transforming kits? Lack of stability. I usually wait on those.
Yeah.
For example, the Age 2 normal looked really cool to me, but it was terrible. The knees never didn't lock, so that was a transforming kit. And then the Age 2
Right.
Magnum came out. Tried that, and that was a beautiful thing.
Some of the newer ones though, like the Double Zeta was great.
That was
I've
one that I
heard
thought about.
the
with the
Verka
Verka.
Zeta
Yeah.
is really good. I just haven't had a chance to build it. The Wing, was it 2.0? Was with transforms, and that was a really good, like, a kit, whether you like the design or not. The Zero 2.0 or the Verka. Sorry, it was
the Verka. Yeah.
That's the gold
Yeah.
one, right?
No, the one with the feathers.
The feathers. Yeah.
Cool. I like the gold one more than the feathers
Yeah.
one.
If you're buying a transforming kit for the transforming gimmick, I feel like you'll be disappointed regardless.
Yeah,
True.
for sure. Just buy a transformer.
Buy
Yeah,
a
there's way higher
non-transforming
quality.
transformer because those are better too.
Oh, that's true. That is true.
It's a figure. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if I didn't even transform the Double Zeta. I never. You know what? I transformed the Bawu because it was just like you took it apart and it's transformed.
Ta-da!
That's true. It's pretty straightforward. I fucked around with the XS. Transformed it like once, I think.
Yeah.
And then I dismantled it and turned it into the Sentinel. So
Yeah, I did. I transformed the Double Zeta. I was like, oh, pretty cool. Mobile fort. Oh,
yeah.
Never use this again.
It's a different shaped chunk of plastic.
Yep. Zafir says, for me, it was the G40 because it was so different. The EG Pac-Man was also fun because I built it with my nephew. Yeah, memory attachment to builds. You know, price be damned. I think it's pretty cool. You know, whatever. You know, if I somehow I talk my kid into building something, and it's either an expensive kit or a cheap kit, regardless, you know, I'll attach that memory to core memory.
You know what I really enjoyed? I think about every HG IBO kit I had put together too.
They were actually pretty
And when they came out, the prices on them were so good. Like, I think they were all just about under $20 at the time.
Yeah, easy.
They were like
You
in
know,
that
for
$18,
12,
15 to 18.
bucks, somewhere in there, yeah.
And those were such great kits. Like, and you got a lot for your dollars. Like, some of them had decent inner frames and option
or
packs
you
and
know,
stuff.
just good assembly. You know, good balance and scaling was pretty decent.
Yeah. Jason says he's talking about the YOLO Park Rise of the Beast kits. Yeah, they're really more like it's a figure kind of taken apart and put in the box, and then you just put the figure back together.
Right.
I have the Optimus Prime, but not the Primal.
Which are you talking about, the Bumblebee or the
the Bumblebee one?
The Bumblebee one, yeah, okay. Yeah, this one, the Rise of the Beast ones are a lot smaller, and they're a lot cheaper, like $30, something like that.
Oh,
I mean, they're pretty nice. They're pretty nice looking.
Yeah, that one was not $30.
Jason Santos, if you like the YOLO Park Optimus, the Bumblebee version, the Shockwave version is equally, if not as nice, or more, or better. The Optimus Prime one. It's very nice. It's purple. I mean, for me.
Yeah, I like that one as well. That is good looking. I don't have it though.
Oh, look at Z. Your face is a Bumblebee version. It is. I am yellow. My hat is black. Bumblebee.
Jesus. Honestly, any kit that transforms, I'd prefer a parts forming version instead.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
I mean, you know, if you're a Transformers fan, parts forming is like a taboo thing. But I mean, this is fucking Gundam.
Yeah, they're model kits. I mean, I get it because in anime, a lot of times they look awesome. Like the Zeta was super cool looking. The Zeta Plus looked really cool. They look great in animated form. So,
But then you put those robots and transforming them inside themselves, and it's a lot of plastic on top of a lot of plastic. It kind of loses itself a little bit. I think.
Yeah.
Right? If you're animating shit, you can make it slender a little bit longer.
Right.
You
Yeah,
know,
especially
more.
like the thing is like that fat, and they're
Yeah.
trying to make it seem like
Plane's
it's
like this big,
jet
but it's also
streamed.
like this tall. It's like just like a box. Made the Borg cube kind
What
of.
was that one? Was it from like Zeta or Double Zeta? It was an HG kit, and it was just like a round disc. Like when it folded up, the feet came back. I can't remember.
Oh,
the name of it.
I know which one you're talking about. I don't remember the fucking name of it though.
The Ash. I think it started with an A.
Oh, Ashimar.
Ashimar, yeah.
Yeah.
Ugliest damn
Like a,
thing
it's like
ever.
like a hamburger, like a flying hamburger. Or a flying
Yeah.
hamburger.
Zeta and Double Zeta had the weirdest stuff when it came to like their enemy mobile suits. Like they were
Okay.
by far the strangest crap.
Is that where the Hamma Hamma comes from?
Double Zeta, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Hamma is super weird looking. They had
Very
that other one in
bizarre.
Double
I
Zeta
love
that
that.
looked like a snake. Like it was a whole snake body
Oh,
with just
right.
arms. I forget the name of it.
I didn't know what you're talking about. I've seen it. It's huge too, isn't it? Or
Yeah, Victory had some
The-
weird ones too. They had the guys in the wheels with the with the helicopter hands and stuff. Soundwave would be cool.
that is wild. I like Shockwave.
Mhm.
Made one though, right?
Shockwave is the boombox. It's not really a boombox. No, Shockwave is
Shockwave
Oh,
is
the
no Shockwave
mono
is
eye,
the
mono
one
eye,
with the
mono eye.
mono eye. Yeah.
right. Yes.
That's who they made, right? The
Yes.
purple
It's like this is the eye.
one. I would like one of those.
Yeah, right. They're hype.
They're like it's like 148, something like that.
That's not bad.
That's
Oh,
not
it's
the
not
most
terrible.
expensive. No.
I
There
mean,
are
yeah,
worse
see
ones
them
out there.
Here on eBay for like 160. How much does the Optimus Prime go for now?
About 134, 140.
Oh, that's not bad either.
cool.
I'm just sitting in the basement right now. I don't have time. To
Well,
Yeah, mine is right there at the very bottom.
it's like let's not talk about.
It's the start of the second pile up.
Yeah. Oh no.
I haven't been buying anything lately, so we're all
Oh,
good.
good night, Jeff.
Oh, good night, Jeff.
We're getting
yeah.
resin news tonight.
I mean, there should be. Yeah, I don't. Man, there's a lot of stuff we've missed in the last like however
5
months. We haven't. Yeah, we
5
haven't.
months. Yeah.
It's been a while. I don't know if you guys want to listen to me talking about resin all day.
I mean, I don't give a shit. And if people want to hear some resin news, then that's fine.
Who
There's a
doesn't
couple
wanna
of
hear resin?
things. I know there's a couple of things that they announced recently or showed updates to stuff that they hadn't shown updates in a long time for, which is pretty interesting. Some announcements, some renders, some production stuff. I don't know. You guys want to?
Do it.
With the tease.
All right, one sec.
You're such a podcaster now.
Oh, yeah, you know that's the funny thing. When I jumped on here, I was like, man, am I gonna talk about stuff that we could have potentially put into an episode? Damn it! Let me see here. Resin news. What? Man, give me a second to get ready because it's been a while. Resin news. There it is. So, what do you guys want to talk about?
Man, I've got so many.
The big stuff.
All of these amazing. Like, where did this one come from? Where did this banner come from? Not Italian. Not even.
Not even a little. I don't know.
That's your title.
Not a fucking business show.
There he goes.
This is good.
What's this? this? No. So,
It's tea time. It's tea time. It's tea time.
Mm-hmm.
what does that mean? What does tea time mean?
You tell us. I don't.
Yeah, talking. Edition.
All right. So let's see. Where do I start? Where do I start? What do I start with? Let's start with the boring stuff because you guys.
We can go like this. Not me.
What happened?
Me. I want him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There we go.
Okay. Am I on screen? God damn. Okay, I'm already on screen. Transition. There we go. All right. So first up is the MG1100 Akatsuki by YM Studio. I know there is another version out there floating around. I can't remember. I think it's by. I can't remember the name of the company, but there's a second version coming out. I think this one is proportionally nicer than the one that's closer to release. It's pretty nice. I don't know if you guys can see it.
Yeah,
Yes.
that is nice.
It's pretty nice. Details are pretty good. It's more akin to the Eclipse, I feel like, than the Akatsuki. Right?
Yeah, that does look.
This
I have
little area
the
right here.
Dragon Momoko one. It's definitely much different than that.
Much different. So this is a take on it, I guess. The head's about the same, but that's pretty cool. I don't know if anybody's interested in that, but all right. Next up, we have a 100 Mega Bazooka launcher coming out by Galaxy Hobby Store, I believe. And this goes with their resin Mega Shiki. So this is making its way out pretty soon.
Wow.
I don't know anybody who likes extra weapons on their kits, like build or painting extra weapons, because I always found it really tedious building the weapons.
Right.
Yeah.
More power to you if you're into it.
That's
It's
so
very
different.
heavily detailed.
Wow.
It's cool looking
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah.
Right? It's also longer. If you guys like that
Yeah.
length. And then here's the mega shaky kind of details.
Right on.
There you go. So release date. I mean, with all of these, just like release dates lately, in the last like year or two have always been kind of iffy. So one minute they'll say, "Oh yeah, April," and then all of a sudden, no, it's September now. So it's like it's all over the place. I'm not going to give you guys like a window for these. Just keep an eye out, I guess. On your typical kind of resin stores, usually they sell them. I know for a fact Musagan and Dream Studio K are both holding pre-orders on some of these. So just keep an eye out. There you go. Mega Shiki. Next up, we have an announcement. They're not showing anything. Which is KDG. Yeah, KDG, who did the Kasi conversion a year ago. Now they're doing surprise a Penelope. So
I have a
there you go. So he's starting production or starting design, I guess. It's not even close to there's no production images of it, not even a render or anything. So keep your eye out in the next couple of weeks. Quality wise, that Kasi that they brought out was very nice. I mean, from everything from presentation to casting was really good. So I am confident-ish in this company. So I don't think you'll be disappointed if you do pick this up. I know the fact that the Penelope is kind of a divisive design might put some people off, but he did really good work with the Kasi, so I'm looking forward to this one.
Yeah, Penelope's
yeah, it's a funky chicken, dude.
I won mine, so it's not like I went out and bought it.
Next up, we have a conversion of a MG Barbatos into the MG Bale. This one
cool.
is this is from a new designer called Atox. They have not released anything before, so this will be their first release. So I have no idea what quality is like, no idea if this is going to be any good. But proportionally, it looks pretty decent, pretty decent. This is a little squarer than I remember the Bale being, but I haven't seen the Bale in a long time. So
It's a little like skinny in the chest.
Yeah,
isn't
Like
that
narrow?
like,
I don't
isn't that
remember.
what
I have the 100 one, the full mechanics. Was it above me right now?
right.
Okay.
And
Yeah. So this,
like,
I mean, obviously this uses the Barbatos frame, so I have no idea.
I think the
that's the only thing
shoulders are a little bulkier on the
I
But
had
then
the
again,
same
those
deal.
1/100 ones were like kind of wonky when it came to proportions compared to the anime. So
True.
Right.
But yeah, this looks fantastic in certain angles. Certain angles, maybe I'm not so sure on, but they're already far enough where they're showing off, pre-production images. So this is pretty far along.
I love the head on that kit. Like
You
just the
might have to
design of
go
the
through
tail
their.
head.
Yeah, I love the V fin on the Veil, man. Look at this,
Yeah.
man. Looking beautiful. I really like that.
It's crazy.
This is going, since it's not a proven company. It might be a little harder to get if you want to get your hands on this. So you might have to go through, stuff like Weibo, Taobao, see if you can pick this up. So it might be a bit of a mission to get this. And then next up to the crazy stuff. A 124 scale or heavy weapon system new Gundam is being released, and here this is like the renders of it, obviously. So you're not getting the
Jesus.
scale, but 124 is pretty big. I want to say,
Yeah. It's awesome.
Yeah.
pretty hefty.
It's basically double the size of a master grade.
I mean, and more. You're right. It's
Yeah,
like 8
well,
times.
just a hair more.
So yeah, this is a pretty big beefy thing. Look at this fucking shield, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
What
pretty
the
beefy.
hell?
So, again, I think this is by Corecast. I'm not 100% sure. Corecast is they tend to lean towards like the bigger stuff.
Huh.
I don't know anybody who's picked up any Corecast yet. I know they released the XS, the 124 XS, or they're in the middle of releasing that. So I have no idea how far along this is. I mean, obviously these are just renders right now. So I guess we'll see. I don't know. I mean, this might just be a static thing too. I don't see this thing moving all that much.
No.
Do you imagine? All right, so from
Classic.
something 124 scale to something a little bit smaller, you have a 144 scale Barzam 2. I know that Zach's AOZ composition just wrapped up here, and somebody did make something similar to this, but this is like an actual like conversion kit for the Barzam to turn it into the Barzam 2. This is by Watership, which I think they've had a previous release. I think that was Water Toys. I believe this is a similar designer, or if not the same. But I think this looks fantastic.
That's cool looking. Yeah.
I like AOZ. I like the Barzam. I like the Barzam 2. It transformed.
Look at that fucking horn.
Yeah.
Beautiful, man. I really like this. So what again, since this isn't a tried and true, your typical places won't have this up, but I'm pretty sure you can either get it from their Taobao site, or you could always message people like Dream Studio, okay, Karen, to see if they can locate it for you. You'll just have to pay an extra since they're having to put in the extra work to get this. Yeah. So pretty cool. All right. Next one is another 144 scale kit. This one is the G Mark, which is fucking bizarre. Like this is even
Awesome.
I know, right? Like I completely out of left field on this one.
That thing is cool.
Yeah, this is going to use the Silver Bullet as a base. So this is a conversion kit, or the Silver Bullet suppressor. Either one, as long as you have that, then you can convert it to a G Mark. So there you go. There's a couple of printed. I mean, this is fresh off the printer, so
Right.
they're not that far along. It's pretty cool. Thought it was an interesting tidbit, and they're doing something different, which is nice.
Yeah. Yeah, and a kit that's probably never going to get made.
True. Yeah. Look at that back skirt.
Wow.
Great. That's great.
There
you go. So I have no idea on release on this. I don't even know who's releasing this. I think it says it on the top. Let's see. Nope, not really. Didn't say who is making this. So
garage kit.
Garage kit. So that's great. All right, now let's go back. Let's go up a scale. These are all over the place. This is a 160 scale Physalis.
Ooh.
So perfect grade scale size. Arc Studios is making. Arc Studios have released a couple of things before. Their quality is 50-50 from what I remember. So just something to keep keep in mind if you do, or if you are interested in picking this up. This is a massive kit, so 160 scale is not something to scoff at. So if you like, I mean, there's not many images of it either. Here's a render of the torso and a render of the head. I'm
Another
pretty
cool
sure there's
looking head.
more. Yeah, there's more updated versions on Weibo, I believe, but I didn't have time to grab that. So, yeah, GPO2 Faisals is a fan favorite, I think. So,
Yeah.
if it is sold by your typical places or it's easier to get, I'm sure it'll sell well. And finally, we have an update on the VN Cast Kshatriya that they've been working on for the last like year and a half.
Cool.
So now they have like official specs on it. Overall height is about 27 centimeters. Height without the antenna is 24. The binder length is 27 and a half. And then metal parts are used for the arm joints to strengthen. Obviously, it's a weight bearing or load bearing area, so that's been strengthened a little bit. And he's actually got like some of the cast pieces here on show on display. And these should technically be what they look like when you take them out of their little packaging from the box. So
That's pretty clean.
if this is
Yeah.
anything to go by, this is a great looking cast. Whether or not it'll hold up in time, who knows?
The detail on the sleeves markings, like the depth on them, is really nice.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure this is separate. Actually, this is a separate piece.
Wow.
Right?
It kind of looks like there's a space in there.
Yeah. So here's part of the binders. Yeah, binders.
Whew.
This is a very complex kit. This is also very expensive. Just letting you guys know. I believe the pre-order price was anywhere between $750 to $900, depending on where you get it from.
Insane.
It's not a cheap kit. So if you want to spend the money on picking this up, and I don't think you'll regret it, but just know you'll be paying a pretty penny. So just keep that in mind. But it's a foot, man.
Look at that foot.
That foot. And head. So yeah, this is like essentially a parts breakdown. You can see like parts count isn't really that bad, like for individual pieces, but yeah, the level of detail is going to be insane. So hopefully, if you guys do pick this up, then make sure you do this justice, because this is a crazy amount of detail.
You're gonna be masking for quite a while.
Oh yeah.
Hi, Craig.
There you go. So that's pretty much it. That wraps up resin news. Here's the torso if you guys haven't seen this.
Yeah,
yet.
it's massive.
This is not a
Chunky
render.
boy.
This is a pre-production model. This is it put together.
Wow.
It's a
Jeez.
beefy
Look out.
clear pieces. I have no idea. I didn't even know about clear pieces. These are apparently drones.
Oh. Funnels.
Oh, the funnels are
The
underneath.
funnels are down below. Yeah. I don't know.
I don't know.
Come on, Bandai, get to it.
Yeah. Okay. They get into it. All right. The next kit, I think, is the Dark Magician or whatever Yu-Gi-Oh thing they're making. I don't know. There you go. So
That is, man.
that's resin news, and now we're just gonna fade back to me.
Fading face.
See, everybody was quiet during resin news. Not even a question. Yeah.
Oh,
They were just taking it all in. It was
not a question.
it was so much for them to absorb. They were.
There's a lot of
Yes.
information, and that's just only like that sort of news was like within the last couple of weeks.
Yeah.
A lot of stuff has kind of been released and announced. Like, for example, Hammercat is making like a 1144 conversion kit or detail up kit for the Neo Xeon,
Oh, cool.
which is a big, massive thing. So it's like the problem with Hammercat is it's really unreliable. So I had pre-ordered a what is the name of the successor to the Dynamiz? The Zabanya? I want to say Zabanya. Either Zabanya or Raphael. No, it's Zabanya. It's got to be the Zabanya, right? It's the it's the one with all the funnels. Yeah.
Cheridum.
No, it's Zabanya. It's from the movie. The Awakening of the Trailblazer. No, you guys. Okay, let me see if I can show you guys because
Cheridum. It's this,
the
Cherry-
cherubim
Cherubim,
is
yeah.
something else. The cherubim is something
I
else.
don't know.
Hold
No,
on,
it's a
hold on.
cherubim. It's green.
This is also green.
Zabanya. This is the right.
Sabanya.
Yeah, it's got to be the Zabanya. I'm thinking of the right thing, man. Hold on, let me transition back.
How did those companies create resin casts with all those?
Okay, the Zabanya is the one with like all of the extra funnels.
Yes.
Okay. The Cheridum is like the more, I guess, I don't know how that works in lore. I don't remember.
So-
It's been a while.
So Hammercat released had announced a resin kit for the Zabanya. It's a full resin kit. It's not a conversion or anything. That you don't need another thing, or a base kit for it, for in 1/100 scale,
The
which is really cool.
Zabanya is developed from the Cheridum.
Okay, so it's not Dynamis. It's still a Dynamis.
Whatever.
Let me retransition back so I can refocus.
It's the
this.
twin brother that no one knew existed.
Yes.
And
Let me see if I can show you guys the Hammercat Zabanya, right? It's not resin. So let's turn it off. Yeah, that's fine. So here's the Zabanya, the resin kit by Hammercat. All right, very cool looking thing. It proportionally looks nice. 1/100 scale. It's never been released in this scale before. It's only ever been released in HG, I believe, and that's quite difficult to get. I pre-ordered this thing, and it had a July release date of 2021.
Oh,
And I only just got it like 2 or 3 weeks ago, I want to say. Like Hammercat is all over the place. They were working on this, but they were working on something else, and then the other thing took priority, and then this thing was just being delayed to hell. There's no communication whatsoever. And then when I received it, it was packed in the worst packaging I had ever seen from a company of somewhat good reputation. Like there were printed parts, resin printed parts that hadn't even cured, and they put it in the bag anyway.
And
Like-
was the box white or no?
The box was brown. I got the brown box. I was very mad. There like pieces were just thrown into like Ziploc bags. There was no like padding or anything like that. There was no like, for example, the V fin on this thing. This V fin was just put into a bag with the rest of the stuff, and I was very lucky that mine hadn't snapped. But it was just terribly like put together hastily and then shipped out. There was no thought put into it, like at all. And it, for the price that this was, I believe this was anywhere between $200 to $250. Like you would expect at least that the product would be shipped to you in like a better condition or in better shape. Bad, very bad.
Shitty Zabanya.
I have it here somewhere.
it's not the best looking of the variations, says Julio.
Of the
You're not
what do
the
you mean,
better looking version.
the Dynamis variations? Is that what you're talking about?
Maybe.
The Dynamis is top tier in terms of design for me.
I think so.
Personally.
Yeah, I would agree.
And then it's followed by the Cherry, then the Zabanya. The only reason why I like the Zabanya so much is it was unique, like in terms of its arsenal and its design, overall design. So I kind of wanted it in a larger scale. I didn't want the hybrid.
Interesting.
It's weird to me when like Bandai put out the Dynamis and the what was the orange one called? I can't think of it now.
Harut.
Was that it? The one that came out in Master Grade not too long ago?
Curious.
Yeah. Like how they didn't take those frames and make the second version of everything.
Right.
Like their decision making on that kind of stuff is really strange. Same thing with like the IBO. Like you could reuse that frame, for 100 different kits, and they just haven't.
So this is that kit. This is the Zabanya kit, right? Let me show you guys the wonder of how this was packaged. So you got one single bubble wrap, and then all of the pieces are just in nondescript Ziploc bags. Every single piece.
Yeah, that looks
Um,
like a recast that you would get on eBay.
Yeah, I did this. I did this. I took a cardboard box, like the actual like shipping box, and like did this to the V-fin because I was afraid it was gonna break. But every piece, like here's like a big piece like of just parts, just like no,
Looks like the funnels.
yeah, like well
These.
not the like the funnels, the joints, just like
all
all
of
over
it,
the place.
yeah.
And here's like printed parts. And this is like the thinnest Ziploc bag I've ever seen. And some of these are not even cured. Like when I took it out of the bag. Look at this, man. Look flimsy as fuck.
That's wild.
Right when you opened the packaging and it was a brown box, you were like,
I knew it. Yeah, my heart sank. Yeah. My heart sank.
"Where's my white box?"
Oh, we're getting like some sports card trading shit. Sports trading card.
Funny enough, for the same price. For the same price, Fortune Meow. This. For the same price. It's insane.
Wow.
Oh, wait, I'd show you the inside, but I don't know how to open this thing.
So nicely packaged. You can't.
Okay,
open
so
it.
you open it up. There's even like a little insert. Open this up here. I don't want to knock things over or exit out of things. Like, look at this, man. For the same price.
Wow.
Funnels. A lot of funnels. But then, like, here's the actual like.
Is that a mostly plastic kit?
No, the funnels are plastic. Then you've got the
Oh,
resin.
that's nice.
Yeah, and like nicely separated, nicely
Yeah.
packaged. Like there's foam underneath and on top.
I think wasn't there another one that we got that was like that? That was like
Hainu.
plastic. Yeah, the plastic Heine.
The Jolan Hainu.
Yeah. I still gotta fuck with that. I built like the torso and head, and then with like life went to hell. It was terrible.
How long did that take you, Pabs? Like 3 months or something like that? 4 months?
It took me 14 months, man. I mean, I believe I moved in the middle of it too. So
Yeah.
I had a credit to
Yeah, it
that.
was a lot. Of
And then
stuff.
my setup wasn't exactly what I would call optimal. Like I would have to like run up and down 3 flights of steps just to like paint something. No, it's not an ideal setup.
Good for the core, though.
Oh yeah, I got my steps in.
Here it is. Did I get mine in today?
I
As the
did
day
not.
is almost over. Oh, I totally got mine in today. All right, guys. It is like nearly midnight. I am exhausted.
It's been a long day for you, man.
It's been a very fucking long day, which is legit. But I'm glad that I made it back for a little bit of a late start on this live stream. I thank you guys, Chris and Paul, for showing up and hanging out.
Yeah.
Thanks to everybody that's watching this now and everybody that watches it in the future. Appreciate you guys. Thank you for hanging out and enjoying the same hobby as we enjoy. And forget to listen to the podcast that me and this guy are on. And then this guy
We'll get this guy on, and yeah, eventually.
This guy comes in. He's been back a couple times.
When he's not lounging in his
Yeah.
fucking pool. Yeah.
I don't blame them.
Sometimes there's a cool wind and you can't go in it. It's not true.
Yeah, he's in Florida. No. Nah. But I am going to say good night, you guys. And, well, we'll see you next time next week.
I guess.
Bye.
Bye.
So